Mrs. Ann McGill is our featured reader today. She is here to help us kick off Black History Month. She will be reading Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman. Mrs. McGill is a co-anchor on the Live 5 Morning News and Fox 24. Mrs. McGill grew up on a farm in Williamsburg County with cows, pigs, and chickens. She still appreciates the rural experience. As a child growing up on the farm, Mrs. McGill had to rise at 3 a.m. and learn the value of hard work and honesty. Today, Mrs. McGill's life is not much different. She has to rise at 2:30 a.m. for her work on Live 5 News. Like Mrs. McGill, we too can learn to value hard work and honesty. She has shown us that it doesn't matter who you are, how you grew up, or where you come from. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Stono Park, let's welcome our guest reader, Mrs. Ann McGill.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
You guys had a nice long break, didn't you?
Yes.
You enjoyed that break, huh? That's good, that's good. Guess where I spent Martin Luther King Day? In Washington, D.C., watching the inauguration. And that was very special to watch the inauguration on MLK Day. We didn't get a chance to go to the monument because it was so crowded up there, but we definitely plan to go back. And I'm glad that you all invited me to be your featured reader today. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So the book I'm going to be reading for you today is Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman and Caroline Bench. Anybody read this book before? Ooh, so we got a lot of people who are familiar with it. Did you like it?
No.
Yeah. Some yays, some nays. That's the thing about books. There are plenty of them to read, so you can have your favorites, and then you can have those where you're like, maybe I'll pass on that one the next time. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and read the book this morning. Now, I think I'm going to have to use my glasses because some of these words are small. So, see, at work, on the prompter, the words are really big, like on these postcards right here, but the words in this book are a little bit small, so I need a little bit of help seeing them this morning. Amazing Grace. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were in books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out, and she always gave herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc, or wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. The illustrator did a great job with this book, too. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining Big Sea water, or Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. Sometimes she could get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. One day, Grace's teacher said they would do the play Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. What do you think she wanted to be?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter Pan. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher, "lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so we'll have auditions next week to choose parts." She gave them words to learn. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Mom. "Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows what Raj knows," says Ma. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up, then later she remembered something else. "Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black," she said. Ma looked angry, but before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems that Natalie is another one, don't know nothing. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." On Saturday, Nana told Grace they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. The sign outside read, "Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet and Sparkling Lights." "Are we going to the ballet, Nana?" asked Grace. "We are, honey, but first I want you to look at this picture." Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer, it read, "Stunning New Juliet." "That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad," said Nana. "Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see Rosalie dance? So this time, I said yes." After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. "I can be anything I want," she thought. On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. She had been Peter Pan all weekend. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. "You were fantastic," whispered Natalie. The play was a big success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, "I feel as if I could fly all the way home." "You probably could," said Ma. "Yes," said Nana. "If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants." And that's it. I like that book. I think